The main point of this session is to go over the things that are being required of faculty to do this fall with AVISO. And I don't want to overwhelm you with a whole new software and you have to use every component in it. You don't. You're only going to be required to do a specific set of tasks within here. The first thing that you will have to do is what they are replacing the locator card with. So
this will be a quick walkthrough describing how to schedule a meeting through AVISO, which is being done instead of using the locator card. It's important for you to understand that your up-to-date calendar necessarily informs the AVISO calendar. So the settings that you change within AVISO actually are informed by the Google Calendar. With that said, when a student goes there, what they're going to do is they will go to their AVISO interface, and then from there they will be able to schedule a meeting with the instructor. So they'll just click this meeting, they'll get the information that they need so they can schedule with you. That sets up what I'm going to show you and set up your AVISO on your side. To set up meetings in AVISO, simply go to your dashboard and then come over here to the icon that has your initials or your picture in the upper right hand corner. Click that and then go to Settings. From here, scroll down to where it says Meetings, and you'll see at the very top of the Meetings category, it says, I would like to allow students to schedule meetings using my public calendar. We're not going to allow that option because we want students to always go through a AVISO wizard to set up their meeting. That way they can indicate what kind of a meeting it is, as well as the time. While this section is likely already populated, you'll see where it says Meeting Request Locations. Since this one's blank for me, I'm going to click Add. I'm on the Henderson County campus, and I'm saying it will be a faculty office where the meeting will be held. I'll hit that, and I'll hit Add. Okay, then we go down to Meeting Request Locations. I'm going to click Accept Scheduled Meetings from Students, and I would like at least how much lead time. Lead time is important because that way the advisor or faculty member can be prepared for the meeting and make the most out of it. So it's common to say at least an hour. So I scroll down just a little bit further, and we can see that it says that we'll only allow students to schedule meetings during times that are free on your integrated work calendar, meaning if you have other appointments set up, students will not see that as an option. Now here I'm going to put in my availability. I've been told because of my course load that I'm going to be available for advising so many hours a week. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to say this is my office hours to discuss my current course, but it's also my advising hours. So I'm setting this up, and now I'm just going to say that maybe on Mondays I'm going to be available for that purpose from 10 to 2. And then I don't do it on Tuesdays, but then on Wednesdays I can use this scrolling device here, and I can say, once again, I can say from 10 to 2, and I hit done. Now it turns out on Wednesdays I also want to be available from 4 to 5. So here I'm going to come up here, I'm going to add a row, and on Wednesdays I'm going to come here and I'm going to hit 4, and I'm going to do this, I'm going to enter it like this, colon. I can also add it like that. Now if I'm happy with this, this is going to be available from 10 to 2, from 10 to 2 on Wednesday, also from 4 to 5 p.m. And of course, everything that's already scheduled on my Google Calendar will not show up as an available time when the students go to the wizard to use this. So I'm going to hit save. And that's all there is to it.
So that's the first thing you're required to do, is to do the locator card replacement within AVISO. Okay. Second thing, you're going to be required to do the staff initiated alerts. So there's 5 that live in there. So that's that academic early alert, referral to counseling, referral to disability services, referral to financial aid, and referral for veteran services. 2 out of the 5 are alerts that aren't seen by the student because of the nature of what they are. The other 3 are visible to the student so that they can see that they have something's being done on their behalf, so that they're aware of what's going on, and they'll get notification in their email, or if they have the AVISO app downloaded, they will get a push notification on their phone letting them know that an alert had been completed. We are going to require everybody to use the tutoring referral form that lives in AVISO. The form, the link in AVISO is just linking to the ThinkingStorm website form area where you log in. So really you're not completing a referral in AVISO when you do that. It's just linked to that third party piece. Yes. When we go in the student profile and we click on the student success and a referral, it brings up the ThinkingStorm website. But we have set up alerting emails that will trigger off. I know some of you have seen these, but we are turning these automatic alerts on so that we don't have to do these physical sort of processes where you go in. I think a lot of you, if you had high school students in the past, would go in and set up on
The personalized learning designer.
that's it. Yes. So you don't have to do that anymore. These are already set up within AVISO. So this is going to pull automatically for certain areas. So for career and college promise students, so your high school population that you have in your classes, that's going to stay on all the time. For allied health students at 4, 8, and 12 weeks, because when I turn that grid alert on at the start of week 4, it's going to send those emails to the students to let them know that their grade has dropped below a certain point. So if your grade book is not up to date, students may be getting those emails unnecessarily saying that their grade's low. A lot of it is, like you said, managing those expectations, I think, is a good way of putting it. So this is what the email, this is just the generic one. This is what this will look like. So current grade in, and it lists the course, and it'll tell them that it's below a C. It doesn't say the exact amount. It just says it's below a C. And then it tells them, dear Chris, we're concerned. There's resources available. Please contact your instructor. And it automatically pulls your information in there. And then it says, to discuss ways you can improve your performance and get back on track towards successful completion of course for free tutoring. And this is where it refers it back to Michelle and Wanda, which we think is a nice tie-in to remind them that that's available to them. If y'all if you start seeing these coming through, you're going to know what this is this way. This is one of them that will automatically turn on, or I will manually turn it on, but I will give you notification. So another example is this online first assignment submission. This stays on because it is triggered based upon the start date of a term. So how the section's built in colleague. So if it's an 8-week class, it doesn't start until October. In October, this alert will start firing off emails for students if they will start pulling different alerts in based upon that first assignment submission, and if they have missed that first assignment for an online class. Those are only for online, so it's not every single person. It's only online. The LMS course login is another alert. That one is going to alert students if they've been inactive in their course within a certain number of days. It's going to send them an email, but it's a good reminder for those students if they do work ahead to where they don't forget that they have another class that they need to attend to come back to it. So online course for submission, first week of attendance. That first week attendance one pops up based upon first week of the class, the date of the start term. If they've not logged in and completed something or done something, some action within the course, they're going to get the alert saying, you've not attended. So you'll see that on there. The in-person classes, it's not really looking for an assignment completion. It's looking for the entry point in web attendance. So that's what it's actually looking for. So that first week attendance, it's not looking at what their actual activity is. The LMS login is looking at activity. So first week attendance, as soon as you do the entry point for the student, you put the E in. That's what it's looking for. So if somebody has not yet attended, if they still don't have an E, it's going to keep sending them messages, letting them know, hey, you've still not attended this class. You've still not attended this class. And it'll basically let them know that if they've not attended, that they're at risk of being removed from the section based upon that. So all of those things will go to the students automatically without you having to actually do anything on your side. So that's the positive. So that's the automated alerts. The other thing is registration reminders. So we will start the process of sending out some additional information about these registration reminders. It looks something like this. It's time to register for, and it'll give the academic term. So we'll go through and we'll start sending these off and turning these alerts on, and this won't stay on all the time. Obviously, you can see we can also exclude certain groups from this. But this will automatically happen. You will also want to keep track of the students within your program area that have not registered so that you can reach out to them. Now, if you're adjunct faculty, of course, that doesn't apply to you. But if you are an advising faculty member that has advisees, you would want to make sure that you are communicating with them. And I'm going to show you how to do that in just a second. The list of required things you have to do before I go into the details about alerting again, where the referral form lives, and then how to do the filtering. You can get to your courses from your main dashboard or from this courses tab at the top. When you click on the course, it's going to load this linkable list of students here. It's going to give you their persistence. The term risk persistence is going to be listed beside them. the course specific one, the course completion risk level, is the second little dot. The first one is that term persistence risk, which is what the big green thing is right here. But that's what this is right here as well. So if you are wanting to submit an academic early alert or some other type of staff initiated alert, you're going to go to the student. You can, of course, just search them from the students tab if you want. If you were an adjunct faculty member, it's going to be easier for you to get to, so you're not having to search for them, just to go into your classes that way. Don't try to search. You pull up your student, you click on the alert, and as you can see, right before I clicked, when I hover, it tells you the action that it's going to create. So this is going to create an alert for David. If I had multiple students clicked here, it would say, just like if I had caseload clicked and I click on alert, it's going to say create an alert for everyone in caseload. Obviously, we don't want to do that. So David is right here. You can see if I hover over alert, create an alert for David, click on that, it's going to pull this up. You pick which type of alert you want to submit. If it's an academic early alert, you're going to get the yellow notification box telling you that the student can see that. As a reminder, you enter the information in the comment box that you are okay with the student viewing. Anything you would rather keep sort of internal or private that you don't really want the student to be able to see in the message, put those internal comments here. So if you have, sometimes it may be if you have a suspicion of something happening that you're concerned about, you can always put that information in here so that you're not putting that information where the student can view it. So it's a little more respectful of their privacy. So just be mindful of that. You can do that here. If you are submitting a referral to counseling, you're going to notice this changes here. This one will not be notified of the alert. So when there's a line through the bell, that means the student's not going to get a notification. It's going to go to their success team, but the student is not going to get notification that it's been submitted. Same thing with disability services, referral to financial aid, they are going to be notified. And the referral to veteran services, they're also going to be notified. Okay. So you go through here, you click that, you'll click submit at the bottom, click send, it'll go. So here's the staff initiated alert from Sharon Cease on Sally's student. So she went in, she filled out the alert form on Sally, said that she had previously done well, has not returned anything lately. I'm concerned with danger against you, whatever. Then in the internal comments, you have this bottom box is separate. This is the part that is the internal comment. If you're referring them into this academic early alerting piece, it's going to pull in the counseling group. And this may be information that's helpful for them to be able to plug her in with the appropriate resources. If she's having a housing issue, that's huge. We know that the students are not going to be successful if they're worried about food, if they're worried about where they're going to live, those sort of insecure basic need things, we need to make sure that we can help them as quickly as possible. So that's really good information to share. So then Sharon puts this in, it adds this comment saying that she created it. Then theoretically right here, it would have where this open and closes, it would have a counselor's name and there would be some follow-up information. But typically there would be like a comment like this, discuss study strategies and success center training, blah, blah, blah. That would be what would go here. Then that person would close the alert if they had interacted with the student. If they have a student that they're consistently not able to get a hold of, the counselor is going to keep entering that information here. So you're going to have a way to track what's going on with those alerts that you submit. Okay. So anytime you want to see, if you have alerts that you filed on students and you want to see what's going on with them, you'll get the messages, but you can also just go click on the alerts and see what's happening there and see the whole conversation if you need to. So that's academic early alerts, all staff initiated alerts. That's what that looks like. Okay. The tutoring referral form. There's this list of links that are quickly, easily accessible. The student success referral form right here, you click on that. It automatically populates this page. You would log in with your Blue Ridge credentials, as Michelle mentioned, and then you should be able to easily get to that. So that's where the form lives. This link, you click on it, it takes you to the page. This is what Michelle and Wanda really need y'all to do to be able to refer them appropriately. It helps with their audit pieces. That's the cleanest way we figured out so that they're not having to sort of like double dip and enter information in multiple places and then miss things. This keeps it really clean on their side, which is what ideally we want the system to do, is to make some things simpler for everybody.
You guys can pre-refer. So as you get these first assessments in, if you think somebody really needs tutoring, you can go in AVISO and pre-refer them. And then whenever they walk in, we can claim credit of the first tutoring session.
So please make sure you're using that. reach out to Michelle or Wanda if you have questions specifically about ThinkingStorm. I think that this is going to be a smoother process for everybody. So within your list, you're going to be able to create some filters. So you'll click the plus sign, and it's going to give you this list of options. You're going to be able to search from your caseload. You can search everyone. You can also search your followers only. So if you're an adjunct faculty member, if you want to be able to easily access all of the people that are in your courses, you can go in and follow. There's some setting options. So please send me an email if you want help with that. You can click to submit, and so you can pull all of your followers in, so you can follow everybody that's in the classes you're teaching. If you wanted to create a filter, you can select however you want to do this. Then you can add an adjunct. This might not be something necessarily that you ever use a whole lot, but if you are full-time faculty, this would be something that's really helpful for you to be able to pull some quick lists. As you can see on this side over here, Ken has all of his listed out based upon what program they're in. So like there are 7 people currently in this system security program field. So this particular program, he has all of them listed out. So he knows how he can get a hold quickly of all the people that are within each of those little sort of subsets of the programs that he manages. You can create lists of whatever type you would want. You can go over here, like how Ken's done. You can do it by program. You can do however you want to. You can pick a lot of different things out of this. It can have ethnicity things. It can have minority things. You can search with tags. So the tags that we talked about in some of the earlier training. So you have all these CCP tags. We have a ton of tags. Currently enrolled in XYZ courses, things with STEM, homeschool, like library finds, like you can search everything. So that gives you things you can include and exclude. You can also pick which campus. You could create a filtered list of everybody that's in your area, that their risk levels, basically, like what risk level are they at. So you can submit some specific things here. You could do people that have open alerts. Degrees, I would suggest using the programs option instead of that degrees piece. This seems to work a little better. Registration terms, you can exclude different terms of registration. So you need to be creating potentially with your group of students that you advise. It would be good to create like a not registered for and whatever terms coming up. So and you can keep track of who do you need to be emailing. So you could create a filtered list. Ken had one for not registered for spring, not registered summer and fall. So then he could very easily then click send a message to everyone in that little list that he made. And then he could quickly send them an email to their college email and their personal email saying, hey, you're still not registered. Please, let's set up a time to talk. We can Zoom, whatever. So it gives you a quick way for you to know. So you're not also emailing everybody in your caseload over and over and over again when some of them have registered, and you're not wanting to have to go through and pick out those individuals that have registered that you don't need to email anymore. And so it makes things a little bit cleaner for y'all to be able to make those contacts so that you're easier. It has easier access for you to get to your advisees to actually email them. Extra tidbits to help you. So only show students that have registrations in the select terms, and then only show students who are not registered for these terms. So for coming up, you might want to go ahead and create a list. Obviously, all of the people that you have coming up should all not be registered for spring 2022 because we're not doing that yet. But you could go in here and you could pick to exclude. So then you're only going to see students who are not registered for that term. You're going to have a list over here. You're going to be able to see who is still not doing it. That list will continue to update. So as they register, the names will come off of that, and you'll be able to see that total change. You can select GPAs. If you are an advising faculty member and you click on your caseload, some people are saying that they're not seeing all of their caseload. So I can clarify a little bit of that. You are seeing your active caseload when you click on that. So AVISO is populating the students that are currently registered from your advisee list and colleague that are currently registered and taking classes. This caseload, obviously, we want you to continue to reach out to those students that are not registered. But for your caseload, these are the people that are physically with us now. The ones that are not, you may want to create a filter, and I have some instructions about that. I've got to create a little PDF for everybody. You can actually go down to the very bottom and you can pick up a little bit success team. You can actually select a particular I don't need to do Ken because I'm obviously in him, so that's not going to work. But you could pick a particular faculty member yourself, and have it populate your entire caseload. So that's going to pull in everybody who is actually listed as the academic advisor. And then you can actually choose from there if the student is active or inactive. And that is here. So current, continuing, and inactive. So if you wanted to, you could really detail these lists a good bit and add a lot more content to your dashboard and give you some sort of reporting options. Okay. That is all I have to cover. If anybody has any questions about anything as it stands, let me know.